Hello and welcome to the weekly highlights program on Azərbaycan Television with the major developments of the week. I'm your host, Rəsmi. Now first, let's take a brief look at some of the top stories of this week. This week, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva visited Füzuli district and Shusha city. An official welcome ceremony was held for President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, at Alexander Nevsky Square in Sofia, Bulgaria. An official welcome ceremony was held for President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, at the Alexander Nevsky Square in Sofia, Bulgaria. A guard of honor was arranged for the Azerbaijani president at the square. President of Bulgaria, Rövşən Məmmədov, welcomed President of Azerbaijan, İlham Aliyev. The chief of the Guard of Honor reported to the Azerbaijani president.
Господин президент на Азербайджан, почетният караул, чест във вашето пристигане в Република България е построен началник на караула, капитан Минчев.
The military orchestra played the national anthems of Azerbaijan and Bulgaria. The president reviewed the Guard of Honor. State and government officials of Bulgaria were introduced to President Ilham Aliyev, and members of the Azerbaijani delegation were introduced to President Rövşən Məmmədov. The Guard of Honor marched in front of the presidents. Following the official welcome ceremony, President Ilham Aliyev visited the tomb of the unknown soldier at the Alexander Nevsky Square in Sofia. President Ilham Aliyev laid the wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier. On September 30th, President Ilham Aliyev and President of Bulgaria, Rövşən Məmmədov, have held a one-on-one meeting in Sofia. President Ilham Aliyev and President of Bulgaria, Rövşən Məmmədov, held a one-on-one meeting in Sofia. President Ilham Aliyev and President of Bulgaria, Rövşən Məmmədov, held an expanded meeting. Welcoming President Ilham Aliyev, President of Bulgaria, Rövşən Məmmədov, says that the bilateral relationship would be discussed and opportunities to address certain challenges considered, stressing the friendly relations of mutual respect with Azerbaijan. President Rövşən Məmmədov said that Azerbaijan is a reliable and time-tested partner. Your visit to our country coincides with the 30th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between our countries. Along with this, another significant event, the inauguration of the Greece-Bulgaria gas interconnector, lies ahead. We attach great importance to our energy cooperation, said President Rövşən Məmmədov. During the meeting, the innovation, high technologies, trade, investment and other areas will also be discussed. Rövşən Məmmədov once again welcomed President Ilham Aliyev. President Ilham Aliyev thanked President Rövşən Məmmədov for the hospitality and underlined the strategic partnership of Bulgaria and Azerbaijan. The declaration of strategic partnership signed 7 years ago has manifested itself in a number of areas over these years, said the head of our state, and congratulated President Rövşən Məmmədov on the launch of the Greece-Bulgaria interconnector project. President Ilham Aliyev said the bilateral cooperation in all fields is based on a sincere relationship, and there are good results not only in energy, but also in other areas, in particular the humanitarian field. The implementation of the Middle Corridor in the field of transport and the activity of the East-West Transport Corridor will certainly connect and bring our countries together, said President Ilham Aliyev, and once again thanked for the invitation and for the hospitality. Following the expanded meeting, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan Ilham Aliyev and President of the Republic of Bulgaria Rövşən Məmmədov made press statements.
Welcoming once again President Ilham Aliyev, President Rövşən Məmmədov noted traditional friendly relations between the two countries and sincere cooperation. Noting active political dialogue at the highest level, the head of state noted the relations had been raised to the level of strategic partnership, calling this visit twice symbolic, first of all because this year the 30th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between the two countries is marked, and second of all, there will be official opening of the Greece-Bulgarian interconnector on October 1st. President of Bulgaria Rövşən Məmmədov said that this interconnector, being a very important project for both Bulgaria and Eastern Europe as a whole, will allow Bulgaria to buy natural gas from Azerbaijan for the first time. Thanking Rövşən Məmmədov for the warm welcome, President Ilham Aliyev said that the joint declaration of strategic partnership between Bulgaria and Azerbaijan, signed in 2015, raised the relations between the two countries to a high level, and at the same time all the issues identified in that declaration had been implemented. Noting that during their conversation they also discussed ways of increasing the volume of Azerbaijani gas to be exported to Bulgaria, and relevant instructions had been given. Therefore, they are doing their best to increase gas production and supply our partners with natural gas. President Ilham Aliyev added that they also exchanged opinions about the ceremony to be held on October 1st. Extending his congratulations to President Radov on this great historic achievement, the head of state noted that the Greece-Bulgaria gas interconnector project is indeed of historic importance. I am sure that this interconnector will enable the transportation of Azerbaijani gas to Europe on a larger scale. At the same time, it will be of great benefit to energy security on the European continent, said President Ilham Aliyev.
A dinner was hosted on behalf of caretaker Prime Minister of the Republic of Bulgaria, Galabdonyev, in honor of the President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev.
A dinner was hosted on behalf of caretaker Prime Minister of the Republic of Bulgaria, Galabdonyev, in honor of the President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev.
As part of his official visit to Sofia, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, met with representatives of leading business communities of Bulgaria.
Addressing the meeting, President Ilham Aliyev said that first of all he was very satisfied with the discussion held with the President and the caretaker Prime Minister. Ways to expand mutual cooperation, economic relations, commercial cooperation, including energy and transport, were discussed. President Ilham Aliyev expressed hope that after this meeting, the businessman would be more interested in working with Azerbaijani companies in Azerbaijan, either as an investor or through contracts, considering the friendly relations between Bulgaria and Azerbaijan. Then representatives of leading business communities of Bulgaria made presentations to the President of Azerbaijan about projects related to automobile, food, energy, satellite, drones, communication, digital development, ICT, medicine, and chemical industry. Representatives of some companies stated that they had already cooperated with Azerbaijani companies. They also noted that they were interested in working together with Azerbaijani companies in the Alat Free Economic Zone and other industrial estates. Bulgarian business people were also provided with detailed information about investment opportunities and business environment in Azerbaijan.
On September 30th, an official dinner was hosted on behalf of President of the Republic of Bulgaria, Rövşən Məmmədov, in honor of President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham Aliyev. An official dinner was hosted on behalf of President of the Republic of Bulgaria, Rövşən Məmmədov, in honor of President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham Aliyev. On October 1st, as part of the opening ceremony of the Greece-Bulgaria gas interconnector, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham Aliyev, met with Prime Minister of the Hellenic Republic, Kyriakos Mitsotakis, in Sofia, Bulgaria. The issues of cooperation in the field of energy were pointed out at the meeting, and the importance of TAP project was emphasized in this regard. The importance of the natural gas interconnector to be commissioned between Greece and Bulgaria was also mentioned. The sides also held the importance of Memorandum of Understanding on Strategic Partnership signed between Azerbaijan and the European Union in the field of energy. On October 1st, as part of the official visit to Bulgaria, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham Aliyev, met with Prime Minister of Romania, Nicolae Anel-Ciurche, in Sofia. During the meeting, Head of our State noted that relations between Azerbaijan and Romania are developing on the basis of strategic partnership. Prime Minister Nicolae Anel-Ciurche particularly noted the important role of Azerbaijan in Europe's energy security. During the conversation, the special role of our country in terms of signing of the Memorandum of Understanding on Strategic Partnership in the field of energy between Azerbaijan and the European Union and the implementation of issues arising from it was brought to attention. In order to continue the discussions on cooperation between Azerbaijan and Romania in agriculture, petrochemical, energy, including electricity export, transport logistics and other fields, relevant tasks were given to the relevant state institutions. Invitations to visit Azerbaijan and Romania were exchanged. A ceremony to inaugurate the Greece-Bulgaria gas interconnector was held in Sofia, Bulgaria. President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham Aliyev, made a speech at the event. President of Bulgaria, Rövşən Məmmədov, greeted President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham Aliyev, and other heads of state and government. A video chart dedicated to the technical indicators of the Greece-Bulgaria gas interconnector and significance of the project was shown. Then there were speeches. President İlham Aliyev spoke at the ceremony. After the speeches, a commemorative photo was taken. On October 1st, on behalf of the President of the Republic of Bulgaria, Rövşən Məmmədov, an official lunch was held for the heads of state and government, participating in the opening ceremony of the Greece-Bulgaria gas interconnector. President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham Aliyev, attended the lunch. President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham Aliyev, ended his official visit to the Republic of Bulgaria. A guard of honor was lined up for the President of Azerbaijan at the Sofia airport.
Go!
President Ilham Aliyev was seen off by high-ranking state and government officials of Bulgaria. President of the Republic of Azerbaijan Ilham Aliyev and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva visited Füzuli district and Shusha city on September 27th.
The head of state and the First Lady laid flowers at the obelisk to 27 September Remembrance Day in Garakhanbayli village of Füzuli district. Noting that the entire Azerbaijani people honored the blessed memory of our martyrs who died for the motherland, President Ilham Aliyev noted that we are proud of them, we are proud of our heroic soldiers and officers. The blood of the martyrs was not shed in vain. We avenged them on the battlefield, liberated our native lands from the enemy and restored the country's territorial integrity. Stressing that the 44-day patriotic war is our glorious history, the other side said that the Azerbaijani people, having mobilized all forces demonstrating unity and will, drove the enemy from our lands, and now, thanks to the heroism of our soldiers, we are building on the liberated lands, reconstructing towns and villages. Noting that this obelisk was erected near the village of Garakhanbayli in honor of our martyrs, President Ilham Aliyev recalled that this village and 5 other villages were liberated on the first day of the Second Karabakh War. The first martyrs died a heroic death right here, where enemy trenches were located nearby. Facing the death, Azerbaijani soldiers and officers broke through the lines of defense, sacrificed themselves so that our flag would be hoisted in Shusha and other than occupied lands. The other state stressed that for 44 days the Azerbaijani army had been continuously advancing towards victory. About 300 cities and villages had been liberated during these days. The enemy had been forced to sign an act of surrender, accept the defeat, and leave our lands. We are a happy generation, since this glorious mission fell on our shoulders because we are both witnesses and participants in this historical event. We are proud that justice was served on the battlefield. We defeated the enemy, and henceforth we will always live as a victorious people, a victorious country, said the head of state, and added, today, paying tribute to the sacred memory of our martyrs, each of us must once again give ourselves a word promise that we will always stand guard over our independence, on guard of our territorial integrity. We will not allow the enemy to raise their head again. We will not allow them to threaten us once again. If we see this, we will immediately move on to action. I'm sure that this will not be necessary, since the growing strength of our country, including its military power, is the guarantor of our independence and peaceful life. President Ilham Aliyev said that the sacred memory of the martyrs will forever remain in the heart of the Azerbaijani people.
Bir daha şəhidlərimizə rəhmət diləyərək qeyd etməliyəm, bildirməliyəm ki, onların əziz xatirəsi Azərbaycan xalqının qəlbində əbədi yaşayacaqdır.
Then, President Ilham Aliyev and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva honored the memory of the martyrs of the Patriotic War at 12 p.m. with a minute of silence in connection with the Remembrance Day. On September 27th, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan Ilham Aliyev and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva visited the Yuxarı Gövharağa Mosque in the city of Shusha and viewed the reconstruction and restoration works being carried out by the Heydar Aliyev Foundation. Assistant to the President of Azerbaijan, Anar Ekberov, informed the head of state and the First Lady about the work done. The restoration work in the historical Yuxarı Gövharağa Mosque started in November of 2021. The conservation and restoration works in the Yuxarı Gövharağa Mosque, which was destroyed by the Armenians during the occupation of the city of Shusha, are carried out in accordance with the regional architectural style by a consortium of companies from Azerbaijan, Italy and Turkey, and with the financial support of Pasha Holding. The restoration process is carried out under the supervision of the Austrian Wechtorn Architekten Company. The consolidation works have been carried out at the mosque. The interferences to the mosque which took place during the Armenian occupation were eliminated. The plaster works on the facades and inside the buildings were completed. Painting works of the minaret started. It is envisaged that the restoration works will continue until 2023.
President Ilham Aliyev and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva viewed progress of works in a number of newly built facilities in Shusha. Shusha, this marvelous and ancient Azerbaijani city with its unique nature, is experiencing rebirth. The residential complex, the construction of which is underway in Shusha, will consist of 23 buildings. Construction of 8 buildings kicked off in July of this year, and construction of other 15 in September. It should be noted that the total housing stock for 23 buildings consists of 450 apartments. There will be 3- and 5-story buildings. All living conditions will be created there. Large-scale landscaping and improvement work will be carried out on the territory. The construction of the hotel and conference center, which occupies an area of more than 3 hectares, started this April. The center will have 154 rooms, a 400-seat conference hall, restaurants, shops, and underground and overground parking lots, as well as all other necessary infrastructure. The center was designed in accordance with the synthesis of modern and national architectural styles and follows the concept of caravan sarai. Elements of national architecture will be used in the external design. The facade will have a cladding with Shusha stone used in the construction of historical buildings of the city. President Ilham Aliyev and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva also got acquainted with the conditions created in the building of the special representation of the President of the Republic of Azerbaijan in the Shusha region. Assistant to the President Anar Ekberov informed the head of state and the First Lady about the work done. The administrative building was built in the 1970s. Restoration and reconstruction work here began in June last year and completed in June 2022. The building consists of 41 offices, a large assembly hall with 86 seats, and 2 small meeting rooms. The Mehmandarov's estate complex was constructed by representatives of the Mehmandarov's family in the 18th century. This complex, which belonged to the Mehmandarov family, includes a large residential building, a small residential building, a family mosque and a spring. The Heydar Aliyev Foundation started repair and restoration work in the Mehmandarov's estate complex, as well as the family mosque and the spring in the area, in October 2021. Paintings on walls and ceilings are being restored in accordance with draft designs. These works cover the destroyed domes, roof, mihrab and other parts of the building. After repair and restoration work, it is envisaged to arrange a museum exposition there. The museum exposition will embody the home of a Shusha resident. This includes the creation of an office decorated with objects that demonstrate the occupation and hobbies of the owner of the house, the living room designed for receiving guests and considered the most luxurious room in the house, and in many cases decorated with wooden decorative panels and fabric wallpapers, a dining room and 2 bedrooms. Repair and restoration work is scheduled to be completed in 2023. 3 residential buildings currently undergoing restoration, which were built in the middle of the 19th century, characterizing Karabakh School of Architecture, are envisaged to be used as hotels. These buildings were destroyed during the occupation and became unfit. Upon completion of the restoration work, which will begin in May this year, the interior of the hotel will be decorated in an authentic style. The part of the building that was destroyed during the occupation was rebuilt, and the extensions built later were demolished. Repair and restoration work is planned to be completed by the end of 2023. The construction of the school building, which covers an area of 4,300 square meters, started in October last year and is currently rapidly continuing. The school was designed for 960 pupils. Extensive opportunities will be created here for education and bringing up of pupils. Thus, all conditions will be created for organizing high-level education in this facility. The head of state and the First Lady were also informed about the upcoming overhaul of the administrative building of the Housing Utility and Maintenance Service of the Shusha City State Reserve Department. President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, received continental Europe and Turkey advisor in the office of the French President, Isabelle Dumont.
The discussions and constructive dialogue between President of France Emmanuel Macron and President of Azerbaijan Ilham Aliyev during the recent telephone conversations were underlined at the meeting. The sides exchanged views on the issues relating to normalization of relations between Armenia and Azerbaijan, negotiation process on peace treaty, delimitation of borders and opening of communications. President Ilham Aliyev emphasized the landmine problem Azerbaijan is facing and the fact that nearly 4,000 Azerbaijani citizens are considered missing since the first Armenia-Azerbaijan war. The importance of addressing these issues was pointed out. The sides discussed the issues of mutual interest, including the Azerbaijan-France bilateral cooperation.
President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, received a delegation led by Chairman of the State Duma of the Federal Assembly of the Russian Federation, Vyacheslav Volodin.
Добро пожаловать. Рад вас видеть. Уверен, что визит будет очень полезным и приятным.
Welcoming the delegation, President Ilham Aliyev said he was sure that the visit will be very useful and pleasant. Noting that years have passed since Vyacheslav Volodin's previous visit to Azerbaijan, the head of state said that interparliamentary relations had developed rapidly during this period. We have been in constant contact with the State Duma and the Federation Council, both at the level of leadership and at the level of MPs. This is a very important factor of interstate relations between our countries, and these relations have a very positive momentum, said the head of state, and added that regular meetings at the level of heads of state also create conditions for maintaining this dynamism. As a whole, if we consider the agenda of our relations, it is quite broad and covers practically all areas. It would probably be easier to pinpoint areas where our cooperation is not so active, because all indicators in the political, economic, transport, energy, and humanitarian fields are visible, and we are seeing very good dynamics, said the head of state, saying that the key thing is to focus on the results, and all the issues agreed on are being implemented. President Ilham Aliyev added 8 roadmaps have been agreed and are being implemented in the economic, commercial, information, communication, transport, and other spheres. There is a precise schedule for the implementation of the issues set in each direction, and the implementation is being monitored. Therefore, we can say that there is only a positive result here. Let me emphasize again that these results have been achieved by our joint efforts and of great importance for our countries and, in my opinion, for the region as a whole. Of course, regional security issues are always on the agenda of our relations. We recently talked about this in our meeting with the Russian President in Samarkand. Of course, peace in our region is necessary for all countries and all peoples. Our agenda is quite unequivocal. We have repeatedly stated that we are in favor of long-term and sustainable peace, the solution of all problems related to our neighbors, and the recovery of this region from the difficult situation it was in for 30 years. Regarding your field, I must say that we intend to continue our relations both within the framework of international institutions and in a bilateral format. You will meet with your counterpart. I think you will also review the agenda in detail. In short, there are many issues to talk about because the agenda is quite broad and effective. In my opinion, the main directions we are focusing on are evidence of positive dynamics of bilateral relations. Welcome again. Although your visit will be short, I think it will be very fruitful, noted President Ilham Aliyev.
Еще раз с приездом. Хоть и короткий у вас визит, но, думаю, будет очень плодотворный.
Спасибо, уважаемый господин президент.
Thanking President Ilham Aliyev, the chairman of the State Duma of the Federal Assembly of the Russian Federation, Vyacheslav Volodin, conveying the kindest words and friendly greetings of President Vladimir Putin, noted that the relations were developing in many ways thanks to both presidents. Vyacheslav Volodin touched on the Declaration on Allied Interaction and said this is a very serious level achieved on the basis of a truly strategic partnership. That is why it is extremely important that we develop interparliamentary relations. We have talked about this. The pandemic has really disrupted our plans. If we talk about our interparliamentary interactions, the meetings, dialogue and communication form the basis of this activity. Of course, all this was done in the form of video conferencing. This format was the main one, but if there are no direct conversations, it is difficult to talk about the development of relations as in the mode of video conferencing. Therefore, as soon as the situation related to the pandemic began to ease, we took advantage of this opportunity and agreed with our colleagues to meet and discuss the development of our relations, because the declaration signed by the presidents of the Russian Federation and the Republic of Azerbaijan emphasizes that our interparliamentary relation should be developed. Therefore, we will discuss communication formats and new approaches in order to make a tangible contribution to addressing the issues of legislation and those discussed at the level of the heads of state, said Vyacheslav Volodin. The head of state thanked for the kind words and greetings of Vladimir Putin and asked the chairman of State Duma to extend his greetings to the president of the Russian Federation.
That was all for the week. Thank you for watching us and see you next Sunday.